She's smart, she's skilled, she's talented, and she's taking faces. She's in the lead, up by 2.
It started from the beginning. When I sat down, I knew I was going to win. And I know that sounds ego, but like, you have these moments in life where like, you know something's about to happen. You just continue to be calm and just like let it happen. And that's exactly what happened.
Man sees a fight occurring. P1 can't get the angle though. Knows that there's another player lurking around here. Needs to find this kill. Ganassi still down by 1. That's a huge kill for her. She stays alive as well.
The melee comes through. Oh my God, Commandstation might just do it with 4 seconds left. A historical win for the women of Halo. The first time a woman has won the free-for-all. Commandstation makes history. Oh my God, what a win.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tide the Leader, a podcast dedicated to exploring the past, present, and future of Halo and all the incredible people in it. I'm Makowski, and joining me alongside every single episode is my duo of 20-plus years, Eli the Ninja. And today, man, we could not be more excited for our next guest. She's an E4 in the United States Air Force, made history as the first woman to ever win a Free-For-All LAN, claiming the title just a few weeks ago at DreamHack Dallas. She's a trailblazer, breaking barriers and representing women in gaming at the highest level, and something tells me she's not done yet. Welcome to the show, Commandstation. Allie, how we doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you doing?
Feeling pretty good. We are very, very excited for this episode. Eli and I were on the cast for that epic moment. I literally blacked out, so I don't know what it was like for you on the sticks, but I know it was pretty exciting for us just even in the booth. But before we get to that, we're going to start, as we always do with every episode, with the origin stories. What got you into gaming?
Honestly, yeah, I was like 4 or 5, and just like a wee baby, and my brother gave me like a controller that was turned off, and he would like play Halo and tell me that that's me, and every time I got like a crazy like multi-kill, he'd be like, "Oh my gosh, like just got that kill."
That's awesome.
Yeah. When I got a little bit older, I got like my first little Xbox, and I would just like play Halo 3 like ranked doubles as a kid, like solo on my own. Like I didn't have a mic. On my little command account on my Disney Princess TV.
So you always had the game station, you always had the gamertag Commandstation, or was it just Command at the start? How'd you ultimately come up with your name?
Yeah, so I was Little Command, and my dad was originally a Commandstation. So he ended up passing away when I was 12 years old, and just one of those things that like made me feel closer to him. It was just I kind of just hopped on his account and played as Commandstation, and just stuck. I don't know. I just became Commandstation every time. So anytime I win a tournament now or whatever, it feels good to like kind of lift his name up, like his memory. Like not many people know that, but that's something that I know.
That's awesome.
Talk about having a why and the strongest why I could ever imagine. That just makes the story even more incredible. But it sounds like you got into gaming through family. Your brother, was he like your first rival? Did you guys ever go head-to-head in Wii Tennis or ever 1v1 in Halo when you ultimately played on a live controller?
No, but I'm just like this little girl, and like he would always make me like 1v1 his friends, and I would like beat them or come close to beating them, and he just thought that was like the funniest thing ever. So
Did your dad also play? So he played a lot, and your older brother?
he played more like casual, like he played campaign with his best friend. And then he kind of moved on to like Battlefield and other shooters as well. So, but he had a love for Halo for sure.
Was Halo the first FPS you played then, or did you play other FPS titles when you were younger that you could recall?
The first FPS that I actually like fell in love with when I was like a wee baby was like Ghost Recon.
That was a good
because my
game.
brother would play it with me. It was like I think it was the first or the second Ghost Recon. Yeah, I had a blast on that game for sure.
Now, obviously, you're in the Air Force. Were your family also military folks? Is that kind of why you got into the military and why you seem to like military-themed games as well?
No. I'm the only one in my family that's military.
Oh, wow.
I ended up joining because I wanted to compete. I know it sounds contradictory, but just given my situation at the time, that was kind of my only option to get on my feet and pay for my own internet and get my own like housing, like roof above my head. So Just what I came to do. So
Okay.
Badass.
Smart.
That's incredible. It's kind of in line with what your story is, I think, in Halo. But before we get a little bit deeper into that, when did you start to realize you were pretty good at Halo? Like, was it when you were 1v1ing your brother's friends, or a little bit later after that?
I mean, it was like okay as like a kid, but I think my brother was just like overhyping me for sure. But like the thing that got me like okay, like I can actually hang was somebody asked me to play in like a Halo 4 2v2 tournament, and it was for like Xbox Live points or whatever you call that, like a gift card.
Microsoft points.
Yeah, Microsoft points. I don't even know. It was like for peanuts back then, and I was like, yeah, like I mean, we're gonna lose, but like I'd be down if you want to play with me. And they're like, no, 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 like you're good. You sell yourself short. And then we ended up winning, and I was like, oh,
Oh, wow.
so, and then yeah, I ended up playing a little bit later in like a Halo 5 tournament with this girl, and we were like the only two girls that signed up. But she was like my closest friends at the time. That was like good at Halo, and we signed up for that, and we ended up winning that like first place. And the tournament organizers didn't give us our prize money because they thought we were like girls pretending to be dudes or something, like trolling their tournament. So they gave our first place prize to the second place
What?
Wait.
and gave us
So
nothing.
they thought you were dudes pretending to be girls, and like the word trolling is what you're saying? Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's-
so we didn't get
wow.
our prizes at all. That's when I was like, first of all, like I'm good because I just won this tournament. There's probably like 50, 60 teams signed up, and then people are also gonna doubt me. So I kind of just learned like two big lessons there for sure.
Around this time, you mentioned it was a girl that you played with, but like, who were some of the like competitive players that you first started vibing with? Like, I feel like there's always like kind of like an entry level into like the HCS side of things or the competitive Halo side.
Well, the girl that I played in the tournament with, her name was COG Lotus. I don't think she plays anymore. I think just like some of the Halo 5 girls, like Divine Damsel, like Dreamy Dream, Queen X3. Like I got on, like I got off on the wrong foot with all of them. Like we're all friends now, but man, like there was some heat between all of us when I first entered the scene. But I was like friends with some very toxic people. Like looking back, I realize that now. So it made me a little bit more toxic and egotistical back then. So I was not the easiest person to like. I think I would like to think that I've grown a lot since then. But and yeah, so it's just it was a rivalry with some of the girls competing back then. Like yeah, Divine and Dreamy Dream, and I ended up meeting like Monza and like a lot of the women of Halo that are still in today. So yeah.
I looked at your wiki, and the results on your wiki, they actually only date back to 2020. So obviously you were playing before that, but the first results on there are like Esports Arena 1K online cups for Halo 5. And then you ended up teaming with players like Swish, Queen X3, and Vimsy for one of them. You guys actually got top 8, and I don't know if you remember this, but you guys beat Legend, SLG, and Kimbo on your way to top 8, which is pretty impressive looking back on it. How did you get involved with, players like Swish and Vimsy around that time?
Honestly, like it's so hard to remember so long ago. I think I was just kind of friends with. I was like kind of cool with that group of people. Oh, so long ago. Wow, looks
Yeah,
like
it's just brought
only
back
5
memories.
years ago. But
Yeah.
I don't even remember beating Legend. Like yeah, so that's pretty insane.
He wasn't really anybody back then, so maybe it didn't even feel that consequential to you at the time. I mean, thinking back, if he's 20 now, he would have been like
Yes.
15 then. So
Maybe.
that was, maybe some of his first tournaments over in France. Plus, you're playing online, so who knows? It was probably a weird match.
Now, as long as we've known you, you've competed, but you've also been a member of the Air Force. When did you enlist, and what's it like juggling military life with competitive life?
I enlisted in February of 2020, which, as y'all know, COVID hit shortly after that.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So I was a COVID guinea pig flight. It hit like right around the time of Beast Week, which if you don't know what that is, it's like you're simulating a deployed environment. You're waking up to like screaming and like you got to respond to something fast, and it's hot. We took showers out on Beast Week, and it felt like we didn't take a shower because we would be sweating while we're putting our clothes on after the shower. So it was very deployed environment-esque, but they cut that short once we got like 2 days in, and we got back to our squadrons. and we had to cut mask out of one of our Santees, which is like the green t-shirt you wear underneath the uniform. So we cut like I think 1 or 2 of our own masks with scissors, and we had to wear those. And then they created super flights, so essentially just socially distanced flights that were super spread out. We all had to call our family early and tell them that they can't come to graduation. So a lot of flights got
Oh
canceled.
man.
Yeah, so it was just one of those things like in basic training where you look forward to that graduation. It's more of like an emotional thing. Like you've been cut off from the outside world for so long. That like imagining your family like seeing you graduate is just one of those things that you really, really look forward to. And even just getting letters from family is something that you value a lot when you're in. So yeah, just different things like that just stopping, like especially graduation. It affected a lot of girls. I think one girl had like a panic attack.
Oh
So
no.
I was like, I'm pretty used to like setting my feelings aside and like helping others get through the situation. So I like grieved in silence and helped, those girls get through it because yeah, I mean none of us could see our families. Like we shipped off to tech school, we couldn't see our families like in tech school. I mean some people like their tech schools it's like they're training for their job, right? And some people have year-long tech schools. Like I was fortunate enough to only have a 2-month tech school, but I don't know. Like I took leave as soon as I got to my first base. I'll tell you that. Like I missed my family a lot. So, but it was definitely rough, especially for
Yeah.
those people who had to get through training for so long after basic training. It was not easy, but they got through COVID and they got through all that. I think they're back to normal operations now. So it was interesting for sure. But yeah, I joined in February 2020, and that was just navigating like gaming. I don't know. Like I just kind of worked my 9 to 5, and then I come home and work my 5 to 9. Just try to do what I can if I'm not exhausted. So
Yeah, it sounds tough. Sounds like a very unique experience as well. I hadn't even considered that. Like so many things changed during COVID times. Like think about all the kids that were like in high school during that time, probably had a very different experience of high school than everyone else. And then of course it goes out to the military folks as well. If you just started, that was the peak of the paranoia and hysteria as well. So it's like,
yeah, I thought it was like Resident Evil, like World War Z. Like they explained it to us so poorly, so I thought it was like all the zombie movies are true. Like I don't know. I thought my
oh
whole family
no.
was gonna die. Like yeah, it was
So
pretty bad.
you didn't even have like your phone to like get on Twitter and like like kind of like read more about it.
We only heard from what our basic
Wow.
training military instructor told us.
You're like
So it was
fully
very
isolated.
vague.
That's
Wow.
Yeah.
crazy. That is wow. Wow. That's mind blowing. What's it like balancing again the military with your competitive aspirations? Do you have to take PTO, right? Like just like anybody else with a 9 to 5, or what's it like to step away from that to then step into competition?
Sometimes I'll take leave for like tournaments, depending on when they are, like online tournaments. Yeah, it's just like any other job. Like you got to take PTO off for it. It is really nice. Like I don't make a lot of money, as you know. Like enlisted, like E1 through even like E5, like they make just above poverty level. So, and then I live in Washington on top of that. So it's like one of the most expensive states to live in. So I'm ready to be out of Washington, first of all. It's a beautiful state, beautiful weather, but yeah, I'm ready to be out, and I'm moving to Texas towards the end of the year so that I can compete and then also kind of work for Damascus. They're gonna let me take off for tournaments, and stuff like that, and I'll be working for them. They were one of my very first sponsors, so
Sweet.
That's sick.
yeah, they want me to come
Congrats.
work for them. They have their own LAN center, so they need like a budget analyst type person, and that's kind of what I've been doing in the military for so long. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. It's an awesome opportunity.
Yeah, it sounds like everything's coming together for you.
Like yeah.
What does your unit think of this? Like what do other members of the Air Force think of someone representing them as a world-class champion gamer?
Some people don't really know the gaming world in my office, and some people really do. So it's really nice when they like celebrate my wins with me, and they're very excited to hear like whenever I win a tournament. There's just different personalities, different backgrounds, different walks of life. Obviously, in the military, like a lot of different people are coming together to do the same thing and accomplish the same goal. Carry out whatever mission is assigned to that base. Like we're AMC, our mobility command, so we're responsible for getting C-17s and cargo moving a lot. We have airlift squadrons with like pilots going in and out of there all the time. So I think it was the most understood when just across the unit back when I was in Charleston and I went to Forcecon and I won like the Department of Defense Esports tournament.
MVP.
Heck yeah. I didn't think that was gonna happen to me. Guy Blaze pulled me down to the front for like what I thought was an interview. They hit me with, "Oh yeah, and you're the MVP," and I was like, "Oh shit!" Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was surreal for sure.
Well, there's a little something that I came with here today that I showed everybody.
Xavier Woods was there. Oh, this was so cool, man.
Fantastic.
There's the shock on my face.
You didn't know until this moment, huh?
You're
No,
like,
I
oh wait.
That belt is crazy.
That is a beautiful belt.
Your facial expressions and body language, you look more shocked here than you did when you won the DreamHack Dallas Free-For-All.
Yeah, actually.
Been absolutely keeping this place electric. How you feeling right now?
It feels amazing. It feels great to represent the Air Force and to represent women in gaming as well.
I had no idea what to say here at all.
You killed it.
You crushed it. Yeah,
No,
you
that
crushed
was-
it.
that
What do you
was- yeah,
mean?
you got look at Xavier's height.
Thank you.
You killed it.
It's in the open bracket, and now you're out here.
Yeah, shout out to Ian FBS for like kind of making this whole event happen. This was an amazing event.
Oh man, I just got my team together. I just hit them up one by one.
So you put the team together too?
Last call qualifier together.
Oh yeah, I built that team.
Wow.
I didn't even know that.
None of the Air Force teams that were current for Halo would pick me up at all.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just telling everybody thank you. I wouldn't be where I am without all these amazing people in my life. So
They just don't know ball. That's just the reality. Anybody that plays Halo knew that you were good, but they must not have been that deep in Halo.
The guy in that crowd right there, Charms, he hit me up after and he said,
I remember Charms.
yeah, he's like, I wish I picked you up. It was such a mistake that we didn't pick you up, and I wanted to pick you up, but my teammates were like, no, we're set, we're a solid squad. So
How did that work? Right. So if their official teams of 4 weren't going to have you on the team, you made your own, which ended up being better than everybody's. But how did you get that team of 4 to the Forcecon event as opposed to all the other teams that the Air Force had at the time?
So we missed actually all the qualifiers. So there was one last call qualifier,
Huh.
and we had to win that one. That was like the first time we all played together, and we ended up winning that one and beating the kind of quote unquote like best Air Force team at the time, which was Charms, Gangstas, and like that team. So yeah, it felt good to win that, and that's kind of what got us out to a TDY to compete on LAN against other Air Force teams, and then the Space Force was competing against each other. I think they only had 2 teams for Space
Yeah.
Force.
Wow.
And then Air Force had like 4 teams. We all had to compete against each other, and then they ended up having Coach Clutch figure out like who from the top 2 teams he wanted to kind of mix together, or if he wanted to keep a team together. Like he really had everything in his hands at that moment, and then he ended up just keeping our team as is and not splitting us up, which I was really, really relieved about because I really love that team.
I still have to pick everyone and do this whole combine process. So then, yeah, they weren't sure because I was giving them the poker face and the cold shoulder the whole time to be like, nope, we're gonna do the process. I'm switching teams. I'm not letting you play with your friends. I'm letting you get comfortable, you know, just to kind of see what everybody's about and how they kind of handle that adversity, and can they just stand on their own merit and know that like, no, I've got what it takes. He's gonna see that, you know. They picked him for a reason. I'm gonna keep the roster, but you know, make them sweat a little. See what they can kind of do on their own to really see how to get the most out of everybody when we want to grow this roster, and then go from there.
Weapons to the best of their ability.
So this is some footage from the grand finals at Forcecon with that squad you put together, Trey, Tri, Posey, and Schlegs. This is a vibey squad. I feel like, what was it like teaming with these guys? Trey, Posey, Schlegs, you have anything to say about them specifically?
It's just 4 personalities that mesh really well. I think Trey took a lot of a leadership role. Posey and Schlegs were very Slayer-esque, so he was able to kind of mesh our playstyles together in a way that made sense when we were together. So it just worked beautifully. Our personalities meshed really well, our gameplay meshed really well. Like even when we had hard games, it didn't feel hard.
Dropping down bottom mid, gets himself a killing spree. You cannot stop Posey.
And this is 2022, so this is before the GAs. This BR starts, obviously.
Yeah.
Of Air Force Gaming. Who is Posey? What is Commandstation? And what is going on? Who is this Air Force Gaming roster? They're coming out of nowhere.
Season 1?
Season 1, yeah. We've got obviously got the heat wave, and Posey just goes crazy with the heat wave this game. I remember watching this one in the crowd. He was unlocked.
Yeah, he was in flow state this game for sure. Just doing what needed to be done damage-wise, getting the cleanups.
And your opponents aren't slouches, by the way. These guys, Elemento, Leafy, Call Me Smiley, these guys are all at least like 1800 Onyx level type players. I was impressed by their squad.
Yeah, this is the hardest team.
They know that Air Force Gaming can come.
And you guys are down in this game? It looks no, you guys are down in this game at this point, huh?
No, they're up. It's 33-18. The Observer is not LVT level, so it's
my bad. It looked like 40.
But it's all good.
Hills can cut that out so I don't sound like an idiot.
No, leave it in, leave it in.
Dude, Posey, every time they switch to his POV, he's popping off with the heat wave, and his movement with the repulsor was insane. He still hasn't gone down.
He was very on top of the power weapons in this game, which I appreciated that a lot.
The heat wave was on a 15-second respawn after it ran out of ammo, so it feels like Posey is just cycling it.
Oh yeah.
Goodbye. Go swim with the fishes.
As soon as he burns the ammo, he's picking up the next one.
Dude, I kind of miss how hard the repulsor used to boot players back. Like it was much better before the network update.
Started off with a 4-0 run. I don't know what happened to that lead.
So sick hearing Tony casting too. This is like before Tony and Tools like really took off to be who they're known today with LVT. So like this was a good moment for you, for them, for everybody really. This is such a cool tournament.
Have you noticed it's like I think 42-20?
Yeah, y'all are stomping them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stigtacular. My boy Leafy was having a rough tournament, but I tell you what, I feel like this tournament lit something under him because he came home and immediately added me to his friends list. Oh, there's Posey's Killing Frenzy. But yeah, Leafy started grinding after this. You guys really woke something in him after beating him down like this.
Little that U.S. Army can do at this point to steal away something.
Posey's 17-4. You're 11-4. Schlegs is 13-4.
God.
46 to
Got Sniper top tower here. Oh, you're just waiting for this game to be over at this point. There's no way to lose.
Army Esports.
Pretty much, yeah.
It looks like I think we might have had a crash.
Oh, then you guys just
Side of U.S. Army.
run in. Wait, did one of them crash?
I think they thought it was a crash. Oh no, it was a crash.
Well, you just went and killed everyone anyway, so it didn't matter.
No need to reset. I actually drove out to be at this event.
Oh, that's right. I remember seeing you there.
The crowd is going wild right now.
Just because I thought it'd be super cool.
Right to become your
And it was. I mean, look at it. It was probably one of the better events.
Air Force Gaming will be hoisting that trophy.
Shout out to Clutch too. I feel like this was one of Clutch's first big moments as well as a coach.
Agree. Especially with how instrumental he was in not only building the roster alongside Ali, but keeping it together. You know, like I feel like a lot of coaches and GMs will come in and they'll coach or GM just for the sake of coaching or GMing. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I got to make a move just so I can have some input or have some effect on this. But Clutch just let it rock, man. And I feel like that's really what he's good at. Like, he's super chill, really fun to see at events, and that's how he is in real life too. He just lets you do your thing.
Yeah, do you have anything to say about him?
Yeah, I mean, just from the start, he was an awesome coach, and I think they really underestimated him and his ability, because they had pro coaches on there for all the other teams. I think they had you, and they had Coach Clutch.
Oaks?
Yeah, Elamite, Lunchbox, Hoaxer, Alumni.
Oh.
Yeah.
Me and Clutch. Those are the 6, yeah.
But with Trey and Coach Clutch, it was like having two
coaches, yeah.
Two coaches. Yeah.
Honestly, I was a little worried I wouldn't have any kills by the end of the Slayer because I didn't get a chance to see anybody. Like, I don't know what was going on.
Love Trey.
Hey, they call it the anchor, okay? Girl, you were styling on him out there. You had such a great tournament. Tell me, what does this mean for you?
and it means the world to me. I'm glad I had this opportunity from Air Force Gaming, and again, I love representing women in esports. This is awesome.
And I was just about to say that, representing women in esports, dominating all the guys out there. Put some respect on it. You guys are awesome.
So we're going to be inserting our Patreon question here in the middle of the podcast. Remember, if you guys want to support the show just beyond watching on YouTube or Spotify or any other places that you get your podcast, the support on Patreon has been insane lately, and it allows us to do what we do in sharing all of these incredible stories within Halo. So without further ado, we got Super Jetty that says, it's really inspiring seeing such a truly strong woman at the forefront of Halo. I'm very curious on the specifics of how your military service and patriotism fuel your desire to compete.
Yeah, I think it made me love shooting a lot more. I think I'm very good at shooting.
I
Like
agree.
ARs and handguns, like in person too, which is pretty cool. I kind of fumbled in basic training because you can get a ribbon for like having an exemplary shot, and me being the nervous trainee that I was, I shot the girl next to me, like her target, more than I shot mine.
Oh no.
I ended up passing us both because I don't think she hit her target.
Oh wow.
You were helping her
Yeah.
out? You carried her?
Yeah, so it's all in God's plan, I guess.
Oh, that's awesome.
Being in the military has taught me so much more than I expected because initially, yeah, I joined to be able to just get on my feet. A lot of people join the military for different reasons, like college or what have you, right? Some people just want to be a part of the mission and protecting America and all the great things that we have to offer. And for me, I had my own reasons, right? So it gave me the opportunity to compete in Forcecon, which I'm truly like grateful for. And it taught me leadership. It taught me how to publicly speak in front of people. Yeah, it just taught me a lot of skills that I thought I would never have.
I feel like the military regimen also like teaches you how to work with others and like
Oh yeah.
kind of forces you to work with others, right? Which was so important in Halo and 4v4. I mean, if you don't have your teammates back, like you have no chance to win the game. So do you feel like some of those like I guess lessons from the military transfer to Halo as well?
I think so. Yeah, I'm around a lot of different personalities, some starkly different from others, and yeah, just all these different people, all these different backgrounds. Like you're coming together as a team to complete one mission. I think when it comes to competing, it comes to gaming, like you're kind of doing a similar thing. It's different people, different backgrounds, different walks of life, different mindsets, different perspectives, all coming together to accomplish the same mission. So it's definitely a big pattern there, and I think I've learned a lot from both.
So moving back to the early months of the Halo Infinite timeline, you competed in the Lady Spartan Pro Series and had a very strong performance, teaming with Queen, Divine Damsel, and Blood Reyna. You finished second. You've also competed in various women's events, taking as high as top 3 in what feels like routine fashion. What has that community done towards your growth as a player and allowing you a space to compete against some of the best?
It makes it easier to compete. Just seeing, especially when the car was competing, it just made it easier to compete. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I was kind of alone. Just playing with them and winning female tournaments kind of gave us some spotlights, recognition. But yeah, I don't know. Just having more women competing just made it kind of easier for me because at times it does feel like a little much. Like especially if it feels like you're the only like female like competing like top 24 like and Free-For-All, and like that's why I offered like free FFA coaching, right? I just want to see more women on top. So I think competing with them, like we get to learn a lot from each other and all that. I think the Lady Spartan Pro Series, I had to play that during Forcecon when we were at Patrick Space Force Base, so I played that on my laptop.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that was pretty hard to do. We were very, I think we were like a kill off from getting first, so we were like close to getting
Damn.
first. But yeah, just playing on a laptop in like a completely different area than what I'm used to. Like I was trying to play in both tournaments at the same time. Solely that like made us go down to losers bracket, so we had to. I think we bracket reset and then we lost the bracket reset or something like that. I can't remember, but
Did you have like a passion pit-esque crowd behind you? A couple of your unit mates that were watching and rooting you on?
so in the little LAN center, it's actually like a bowling alley type deal. Like there's a little like LAN area, but like they had my Lady Spartan like Pro Series like up on the TV and they were watching me, so
That's sick.
pretty cool.
Kick ass.
Yeah. My mom like always watches my tournaments like on her big screen TV whenever I let her know that I'm playing in them. So she'll be like cheering me on her TV while she's at home, texting me updates. It's really cute.
That's
so,
amazing.
yeah, I love that.
Now, speaking on competing in the ladies events, what's it like for you to be kind of like a role model for other lady gamers who look up to you? Do you feel any like extra pressure as a competitor and a representative of the women of Halo?
No, just make sure I'm being myself and being an example of the things that, I believe are being a good example of. And I'm not perfect. Obviously, I learn new things every day. I'm 25 years old, so I still got a lot of growth ahead and continuing to improve and learn, but trying to do that as gracefully as possible. But yeah, just being human, just being myself, I think is the biggest thing through this whole thing. And then just seeing opportunities where I can mentor women, like coaching, doing the free-for-all, like free coaching. I got like 10 signups, and I coached like a lot of women that weekend, and then even throughout the week after. So it was a really good experience. I think I was able to kind of change their perspective on competing as well. In that coaching, I didn't just go over the game. I went over how the gender in our brains. Women hear a lot of rumors like their reaction time is not as good, or their brain's smaller, so they're not as smart, or like things of that nature. I did a lot of research. I read a book called Gender in Our Brains by Dina Repo, and she's a neuroscientist or neurobiologist, something of that nature. And she went through like all of these different studies that people bring up quite often, like the reaction time thing and memory, all these different things. And like when these studies were being done, like women were kind of like homemakers, and they were raised to be, a mother and taking care of the family, and men were kind of going out learning these skills to be able to perform tasks, like have a job and be the breadwinner of the family, to take care of the family, right? Especially they were bigger families back then, so they had to do a lot and learn a lot. And they compared these two brains side by side, and obviously they looked starkly different, right? Like women looked more like emotional, like the different cortexes of their brain were like more developed when it came to taking care of the family and all that stuff, and men were more developed in reasoning and like their audiovisual cortex more developed, their memories more developed, all these different things. Now fast forward, you put my brain next to somebody like a male that doesn't even play video games, like didn't do much, like anything like super challenging, right? Like to compete or be involved in something that develops their brain quite as intense, right? Like you put my brain next to theirs, people would assume that my brain's the male brain, right? Versus like if you put my brain next to a male brain and we had the exact same lives and we trained our brains the exact same way, our brains wouldn't look different at all. Our reaction times would be the same, memory would be the same. All of that stuff, like I just kind of learned through reading some very boring studies, boring books, and just kind of getting through that and learning like what I needed to stop blocking myself and stop doubting myself.
Yeah, to me, it sounds like you've kind of like, you're learning all this to better yourself, but also to like inspire and empower other women in the scene so that they don't have like confidence issues that might be slowing them down from competing or like make them doubt themselves. So I think that's awesome. Like you said, you've been doing the free coaching for women that want to do better in FFA, and you've been doing Metafy coaching for a long time. So would you say that's like part of your teaching style, to like educate them? Like, no, you can do this stuff. Like you're no different from anybody else that's competing. You just have to train your brain the right way.
I'd say in the free coaching, I did that a lot more. I don't think I did it as much when I did coach women through Metafy.
Mm-hmm.
I think like 1 or 2 women, I kind of went through that with them and kind of showed them kind of what I know about that and how I worked through it. But it's definitely something that I want to implement moving forward with women specifically, because I think a lot of women still believe that because they're told it quite often. So it's definitely just, I think, a very key point to make in coaching, because outside of the game matters just as much as inside of the game. So
more so, I would argue. I think like your regimen, like your ritual to practice, your mentality, like all that stuff is going to show up in the game. And it's like, you have to develop that first, I think, before you can really do great things. And it sounds like that's been your process, as you kind of developed yourself outside of the game, maybe at the same time as you develop yourself inside the game. And that's why you've had such good success. So I think that's amazing. I think that's one of the best things you could do as a coach, is to like teach people the habits they can do outside of the game to become better inside the game.
1,000%.
Is that a big part of your motivating factor, right? To get this message out that you just so eloquently articulated to us. Like, is that something you're thinking about when you're competing? Is that part of your why?
Yeah, I think it is part of my why. This is very hard. It's not easy. I see why women will come in and compete and like give it their all and like completely give up, right? Like especially if they've made good traction and good battle rhythm for themselves, right? And they've made a name for themselves. Like it's very easy to back out, especially when you see some success, right? Because you see some success and then you try to find a good team, and everybody's saying I'm keeping my options open, or I'm not so sure. Like let me think about it, or like they're just still doubting you. Like when you've exhibited that you're better than players that are being looked at over you, you know what I mean? And you're still seen as a question mark, I think a little bit longer. Teams will take some new players or like rookie players that show that they're really good and they'll develop them. And I think it's getting a woman into that position to get developed and like people putting the time in to, you look at Last Shot, you know what I mean? Like he won the world championship free-for-all and like, they scooped him up on a good team and they developed him and developed him and developed him and he just kept getting better and better and better, teaching him what he needs to know. Keeping and holding those positions, and then obviously like the Mars-Venus dynamic, right? Like how women communicate is a little bit different from how men communicate. And this is very, very generalized, and I hate making a male-female argument or gender argument because everybody is very, very different. There are just like little things, like new challenges to overcome when you're teaming with a female, right? Because it's just everyone's different, everyone's coming from different backgrounds, but it's just new challenges that I think people don't want to touch. But yeah, I'm not gonna let like barriers stop me. I've always viewed barriers as like, okay, like every barrier that I kind of get through or get over, like it just better prepares me for the next one and the next one. And like everything, like I don't know if y'all are anime fans, see like Hunter x Hunter, but like everything that he goes through makes him better and smarter and stronger. Every obstacle, every hoop he jumps through, you know what I mean? Like makes him better. So that's how I view this journey. I don't view it as like people are treating me some type of way because I'm a female. I feel like that's a very toxic mindset that people can have. It's a toxic mindset that I had. It really held me back. I try to just think very like, what can I do better? These people still look at me as a question mark. Like people that I think that I'm like, outperforming and better than, right? Like don't even give me the time of day. And it's like, I just need to figure out, okay, like how can I change their perspective on me? I just want a tournament, right? That's not enough. I need to keep doing more, win more tournaments. I don't know. I don't let these things like eat at me and stop me. Like I view it as a new challenge. So I think that's what really pushes me through all this.
Love that. There's a lot of extra obstacles that you have to face that the average player doesn't, just for obvious societal stigma things, right? Like everything's even more challenging, but I think you're right. You just keep winning and like proving that you're inevitable, and eventually like you get the chance that you deserve. So I really admire your ability to just keep pushing, honestly, and just not letting it slow you down at all. And you've only gotten better and better as time has gone on. Because you mentioned Last Shot, I want to pull up a question that kind of ties into what you were talking about. This is from The Dead Display. He's another one of our Patreon's supporters, our very first Patreon sub. Shout out to him. But he says, now that you're signed to Omitgg, which we're going to touch on a little bit, do you have any plans on getting into anything outside of FFA? He then says, like Pistola and Last Shot.
I really want to. I think as a player, I need to probably win a few more FFAs and make that my goal right now. Trying to form a team is just as difficult as it was before I won that FFA, if not more, because now, I mean, pro players are always looking at new talent, but like now I'm like really on the radar, so I really just have to continue to prove myself and just win more things and do it consistently. I think that's what people want to see. Just kind of remove that question mark like above my head, you know what I mean? Because people look at me and they're like, well, like if I teamed with her for an open, if I teamed with her for this event, like, are we gonna get stained because she's not doing the right things? You know what I mean? Or is she gonna go off? Like, does she know spawns? Like, does she know all these things? So I think it's just a journey of continuing to prove that and make people feel like more warm and fuzzy if they were to team with me just by continuing to do what I'm doing. I don't take it personally. It is kind of like a shot to the ego sometimes, right? When people don't want to team with you, but it's nothing that I should take personal. I just need to keep perfecting my craft and pushing my own limits, and it'll come.
In 2023, at the Charlotte kickoff, you did have, I guess probably at the time, your biggest like chance yet. You did get on a team with Ace, Kratos, and Lakar. The wiki says you guys finished top 36, which was definitely short of your expectations and hopes for that team. Can you relive some of that moment and maybe what you learned from that experience?
Yeah, I would say there's like 4 starkly different personalities on that team. Putting together that team is very hard. I think we did come together and we played well. We didn't get top 24? Or does it say on there? It says top 36. I thought we got top 24.
To be honest, some of these are weird though. Like it'll say top 31, which is not even a real thing. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, I think we got top 24, but there was a point where we wouldn't have even placed that. There was a 49 Slayer against this team that we were playing against. And I just like took that chow and won it. Like I just had to be icy. Like I did not miss a shot. And I couldn't miss a shot in that moment or we would have just been knocked out early. Fast forward, I think we're playing Cloud9 in the losers bracket. That was like our top 16 match. It was a 3-3 hill, and we both had like similar amount of time on that hill. Us versus Cloud9. We had one final push to win this game. And I think like Ace pushed a little bit too early and he died, so we had to just like fight a 3v4 and we lost. I mean, it could just boil down to timing, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. I mean, it was our first event together, it was our last event together because I deployed shortly after, so I put in a lot of work to even just get a sponsor that would pay salary and pay for flights and pay for all this stuff. Like, it took me months of getting told no by different orgs. So I took that new approach and, you know, it finally boiled down to, and we got the team together. Again, it wasn't easy, but yeah, all that work. And then I had to deploy, so it was one of those things. But I just gotta take the hits and keep moving. It is what it is.
At some point down the line after this tournament, it felt like your focus shifted more towards 2v2s, H5, free-for-alls, and you found a lot of success. Was it a conscious decision to start popping off in these types of events as a means to get more recognition or personal growth?
I think it just gave me some breathing room, right? Like, playing free-for-all, it's just you versus you, and I spent a little bit of time like learning how to win that. I think I learned a little bit faster than others because I took some time to myself. Like I wasn't like playing harder, like I wasn't playing free-for-all a lot. I think people assumed that I was just like grinding free-for-all when I won this past major, but I wasn't. Took a step back and assessed what held me back in the past and just thought about it a lot. It would just be something that I made a point to think about every day, and things that I need to cut out and things that I need to implement, add in. Like, do I need a perspective change? Stuff like that. So I kind of just went into the free-for-all and like changed how I thought about the game. So that influenced all of my decisions going into these games instead of just a few, right? Because people go over film and they, you know, you can correct small things, but it's only going to fix small things. So it's not going to change the whole of your gameplay. So yeah, it was just one of those things like you versus you. It was really exciting to me, and it was like if I could win a free-for-all, like last shot was really inspiring in that aspect. Like if I can win 1, 2, 3 free-for-alls, even worlds, like I mean, I'm set. So that's where I can kind of prove myself, like me versus me. And I'm a very good team player. You know, I still I'm learning to work better with the team and refine my being a teammate to other players, doing my 25%, if not more. But it is nice, like not having to rely on people, to like just taking my career in my own hands and showing people that I do have the individual skill, and I can develop as a player. I don't have a ceiling, and just kind of pushing that. I think it's a little bit easier for me to do that, though I shouldn't be doing the easier things all the time. It did help me a lot. So
yeah, I love the mentality for it, and you made so many different FFA finals or semifinals. I feel like you're getting top 16, top 8 almost every event. Before we get into the FFA stuff, though, I want to talk about the 2v2. So you started out in the Halo 4 days playing in 2v2 and Halo 5, and then you finished second in the H5 2v2 with Takedown, and then you win the Halo Infinite 2v2 with Vinny or Invincible. Now, I only recently learned that you guys were dating. Was this before or after you guys started dating that you guys won this FFA at Worlds, or this 2v2 at Worlds? Sorry.
So I want to back up. We actually got second in that 2v2 Halo Infinite 2v2.
My bad.
Yeah, but we were not dating at that time. I do remember seeing him a little bit more at the event, and I asked him to just play in the Halo Infinite 2v2 tournament with me. I don't know. I think the free-for-all might have not like gone well for me or something, and I was just like really leaning on people and wanting to kind of still compete or whatever. I don't remember the specifics of all that, but I do remember playing with him, and it was a really good time. And then I moved to Washington after this event. I moved. The event was in October. I moved in November, and I just hit up events a lot, like while I was kind of getting through that transition, and we would play together quite a bit. And we found out we have the same birthday, October 26th, which is pretty cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and even though he's like 10 years older than me, but you know, same birthday. And
Yeah, that's sick.
yeah, he's really into Halo 3 and all that stuff. Obviously, I feel like older people just play Halo 3 a lot. But
Yeah.
he taught me some things, got me back into Halo 3 a little bit. But yeah, we just kind of hit it off.
He's become like the final boss of the Halo 3 side events. Like, I feel like him and like Hunter JJX have been winning all of those. By the way, I don't know if any told you, but me and him are gonna team for the Boomer League. So me, Vinny, Hunter JJX, and Straight Six. So we're looking to take over. That should be fun. I always love gaming with those guys. They're a vibe.
That is a maximum vibes team. If you could max out good vibes by putting together 4 people, that is the team.
That's the squad, yeah. Hopefully we'll win the whole thing. I'm sure there's going to be some tough teams to play against, but we'll see how that goes.
With less than 6 minutes left, 6 of the 8 competitors are right there in the thick of it, but Commandstation starting to gain and grow on her lead.
Let's jump ahead to just a few weeks ago. We've actually got some footage from the end of the FFA. Now, me and Makowski have casted every FFA finals in Halo Infinite at this point, so we got to be there for your moment. While we watch this, I want him to explain what he was trying to say at the end of the FFA, because he says something that doesn't make sense.
I meant to say that the fist is clinched, and so too is the championship. But in this moment, I got so excited.
Your cheeks were clenched in that moment instead?
The cheeks were clenched. Everything was. And my dyslexia just ramped up to like tier 1000. And I quite literally blacked out in this moment. I was so excited for Commandstation. So that explains some of the enthusiasm from my end.
You don't know, but I don't think I picked up Shoddy like this whole grand finals.
Nah, you didn't need it.
Kid Nasty was trailing behind me this entire game.
Yes, he was routinely at the top. He was chasing the whole time, all the way to the final second.
Yeah, that kid's really good, just in general, so I'm not surprised. But he definitely made me work for this one, like very hard.
Yeah, I think he was the only one that I saw picking up the heat wave, like pretty much throughout.
So he was the only person that wanted to not GA heat wave too, which I think.
Huh.
Interesting.
That's really interesting because, yeah, when we talk to a lot of free-for-all players, they're like, hey, man, you got to give us something, some kind of power weapon on the map.
She's smart, she's skilled, she's talented, and she's taking faces. She's in the lead, up by 2.
Yeah, it's usually one person that doesn't want a GA. So I've noticed, like, Envor didn't want a GA in one of the free-for-alls. Kid Nasty didn't. Some people just view this differently, like if they see it as a competitive advantage, then they're going to take it. So I mean, I respected it, and I told everyone, we're playing with it. I didn't have a bad attitude about it. It's like, it's available to everyone at the end of the day, so anyone can use it.
Will she be first?
You had the lead this entire game, by the way. Like, I'm pretty sure you started with the lead, and you had about a 3-kill lead pretty much the whole time. I guess when we tuned in here at the 4.5 minute mark, that was the only time it was like tied momentarily, but you never actually lost the lead.
Yeah.
Your FFA strategy, are you mostly just going for trades in every single opportunity, or like how did you maintain that lead?
I don't want to share too many secrets.
Okay.
A lot of stuff I did learn on my own, but I did cut out caffeine. I think that was my biggest thing.
Oh, wow.
My heart would like pound very, very hard in grand finals whenever I did make it, and it made it very distracting for me to lock in, like play. Especially like when I lock in, like my body heats up like a PC, I heat up like a PC, like I get very hot, my heart starts racing, right? You burn a lot of calories, surprisingly, when you're thinking at a high level for a long time. Like chess players will tell you that firsthand. You burn more calories in a chess match, like a high level chess match, than you do just like sitting still or even just like learning.
Interesting.
Right?
Yeah, I've seen that study. Seen that. Because there's so much mental exertion. It becomes physical at some point.
You're using a lot of different cortexes of your brain at a very high power. It's like kind of using your PC to its max, right? Like when you hear your PC laboring to run Halo Infinite, you know what I mean? That's kind of like your body. So,
that was kind of my takeaway from this, was just like Eli said, you were in the lead the entire game, but it was so close. You talked about overheating. Were you sweating at this moment? 90 seconds left.
No, I was very calm this whole game, and I think it was just because I cut out caffeine. I mean, I didn't have any caffeine this whole day, and it really changed everything for me. So.
That's like the anti-gamer advice. Like, yeah, just don't have a Mountain Dew or a Monster, Red Bull, something like that.
Sponsors hate me for sure.
Yeah. Huge! Picks one up without even losing any shield, so she can re-engage to the next fight. No sweat. She is up by 5. Still, she's maintained pace. She has the most assists as well. She's been a damage machine this game.
Myself and probably a lot of people listening to this probably have a severe caffeine addiction. So what was your method to get off of it?
I dialed it back. Obviously, if you're drinking a lot of caffeine and you stop, you get that caffeine headache. So, I mean, just over a few days.
Just wean off of it.
Getting ready for the tournament, I just drink less and less and less.
She needs to find one if she gets
that way I didn't get a caffeine headache trying to play this.
The tournament. She's still up by 3 right now. Needs one. That's a big trade for her.
But she's only up 3 with 30 seconds left. Kid Nasty has a chance. She's only down by 2. Hop on board with the Kid, Dallas. We're on board with him. Courtyard fight goes through. He gets the trade.
Well, what's your thought process right now? What are you feeling with 20 seconds left?
Fight occurring.
I know the game's not over. I'm just staying calm, composed, looking for next kills until the game's quantifiably over.
She stays alive as well.
I do get a feeling that I'm about to win though here.
The clutch is fisted and he gets it.
I'm still just looking for the kill.
I'm sorry, I laugh every time I hear Makowski with that call. The clutch has fisted? Come on,
the clutch gets fisted.
Yo, poor Clutch, man. He's probably watching this like, what?
Let's go, Allie. She's been knocking
I will say, I reeled it the F in and delivered a phenomenal call to really capture the historical moment that was. So if you just go from the 3-second point in the game on, it sounds like it's professional. It's HCS ready. I mean, it's really good. So.
Oh my God, Commandstation might just do it with 4 seconds left. A historical win for the women of Halo. The first time a woman has won the Free-For-All. Commandstation makes history and claims the Free-For-All finals.
Oh my God. Let's go, Allie. She's been knocking at the door. She's been in every one of these tournaments. It was only a matter of time before she closed it out.
Wow. Oh my God. What a win.
I knew the moment. I've been playing free-for-alls with Eli since 2004. I've seen all of the best women in gaming compete alongside us in these free-for-alls, and no one's been able to win it till that moment. It's like I saw my life flash before my eyes. Like I saw all 20 plus years of Halo come down to this moment.
FFA specifically, yeah.
Yeah, that's where we got started. That was our route. That was, like Allie's talking about. This is her path to getting to where she wants to be. This is what Eli and I did to reach that level in the 4v4 side of things. So yeah, I think that moment just, I was so proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm not going to lie. I teared up a little bit because, I don't know, people might not know this about me because I act all cool on the outside, but I get emotional about historic things that I witness. I don't know what it is, but it's just the weight of the moment really hits me. And I was just thinking back to how many times I've casted you in top 16s and top 8s. And I remembered our conversation at Forcecon. I think I'm talking about it on the cast right here.
I think she even asked for my advice on should I just focus on FFA? And I was like, whatever you want to do. She's got the ability to honestly do whatever she wants in this game.
And I don't know, all that was coming back to me as I watched you win it, and it was kind of emotional for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Hell yeah.
It was awesome.
It wasn't emotional for me, and I think it's because it didn't hit, my brain didn't process that I just won until...
You're in full logic mode, just...
Yeah. I was also very stressed, because I was trying to play in the 1v1 tournament too, so...
Oh yeah, I remember that. You rushed off to that.
To play that.
Oh, sorry
That was
guys, gotta
kind of
go.
an
I gotta go
L
win another tournament. Bye. Oh,
yeah,
yes.
I came off of that high from the free for all and like just completely threw the 1v1 tournament. So it is what the
Yeah.
guy that got first place, like I like 3-0'd him Friday. So like I could have definitely won it, but I just was not in the headspace.
There's your
For
pop
sure.
off. Yeah, at this
Man.
I think
moment,
everyone was confused like who won right there.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
'cause, yeah,
'cause
there's
you-
no fist bump.
it's just HCS numbers, and like you don't even know who's who for the most part.
Many games this weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, a consummate professional,
I think I mentioned that like
but she doesn't care. I'm gonna be completely
you.
honest. She's one of the most
I don't know if you've watched this back, but this was a lot of fun.
She is unshaken by the opinions of
Some people kind of thrive off of that. I mean, you kind of have to have that mindset to compete in
the
anything.
champion mentality.
It is a champion's mentality. I mean,
Cool moments, man. And we didn't even mention the fact that you also won the women FFA event like the weekend before, basically. Do you feel like that experience maybe gave you a little bit more confidence or like a little bit of extra practice leading into this?
You know, some good practice. I got to kind of implement what I like that perspective shifts that I'd worked on. So it was very good practice in that aspect to kind of use that changed way of thinking in my free-for-alls and practice. I think it did help a lot for sure. So there's some good, and I mean good, women, just individually gifted that people don't even know are gifted. So yeah, like Love Lily, like I would have never guessed, never thought, right? I haven't seen her name much. I think she's newer to the scene. Very, very good. Blood Reina, obviously. Sparty X. Katie. Obviously,
Katie's insane.
She's very good. Yeah, she was making me work for it for sure. So, Pink Sakura got second. So me and my duo got first and second, which is pretty awesome.
Love that.
Yeah.
Now, after the win, you kind of went viral on social media. You got tweeted out by Jake Sucky. You got tweeted out by Chris Puckett. I just commented on the Jake Lucky thing, and my comment got like 300 likes. I mean, a lot of people were seeing this. So, what was this like for you? Like, just kind of getting recognized at like a greater scale. Like, this is esports as a whole. Like, Jake Lucky, he loves Halo, but he's like a Counter-Strike guy, but he still gave you props. Like, was this a pretty cool moment for you to see all that?
Yeah, I was in disbelief that I got tweeted out by like big esports guy. I feel like everyone follows this guy and subscribes to him just because he tweets so much like relevant esports news. So it was pretty awesome. I don't know. It was I was still kind of wrapping my head around the fact that I won. I think I was just so calm. Like I've never played a tournament where I was just that calm. So yeah, just yeah, seeing all this attention, I was like, damn. Like I mean, I did not expect for like this to blow up as much as it did at all. Like it went outside of Halo, which was
Way
mind-blowing to
outside,
me.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Chris Puckett here talking about some of the names that Makowski and I played with back in the day, the best female competitors at the time, Xena and Smiley Girl in Halo 2 days, Halo 1 days. Do you draw inspiration from any like previous lady competitors before you or know any of them?
they were kind of before my time. People see Xena finishing top 32 and like Halo stuff like that, and like I don't think they realize like how hard that was back then.
Yeah.
It was way harder back then to even do that. But yeah, I was like a kid. Like I took a huge break from Halo when I was like, I'd say like between middle school, high school. I kind of got back into it in high school, but yeah, I was kind of out of the loop for a while. But yeah, all these like women who've kind of broken barriers back then, I hadn't really followed too much. I wish I had, but
In Halo 3, I think it was like Golden Girl. Was that her name? I think she was
I think so. Yep.
I think she played like 10 sensitivity. She was also an FFA demon.
yeah,
Probably like the best lady of that time, that era.
yeah, I've heard she's done some great things for sure.
Moving on to present day Halo, you've just been picked up by OMiT. First of all, congratulations on your partnership with them. How's it feel to get more support in the free-for-all events? We usually don't see organizations doing that for FFA.
I feel extremely lucky. Yeah, I mean, OMiT, like big orgs don't do that. It's not really heard of. So they've sponsored me for the whole year, so I don't have to pay anything out of pocket for
Wow.
SLC, Faze, and World. So I'm so grateful for that.
Wow.
Because I don't make a lot of money, as you know, as an E4 in the Air Force. I make pennies, so it's definitely a relief to be able to go to these events for free and continue to just represent myself, and now I can represent them and hopefully win a few more of these this year. So
Yeah, OMiT, huge org, originally or most prominently in Call of Duty. They have like the best amateur teams in Call of Duty. I think the number 1 and 2 like challenger teams in COD, both OMiT, and almost all the like up and coming talent in COD come from the OMiT rosters. Like Mercules is a new big addition to Optic on that side. So yeah, I feel like this is a perfect org for you. Even the Halo roster that they just fielded was like kind of a bunch of like people that are often overlooked, I guess, for other players maybe get more spotlight than them. So it's a great org for you to get picked up. And if they're going to cover your travel to every event to compete in FFA, that's just like a burden off your shoulders to just focus on winning. So I love that. Shout out to OMiT and Rafi. That guy is incredible.
yeah, I'm very, very grateful for them. So and they believe in me, and they're excited to have me on. So it's been great. It was kind of painful to leave Luminon. They've been very supportive, and there's some awesome people. But we parted ways in a very good manner, and we're friends, and I still help them with things. I think we have a tournament coming up actually. I don't know if they've announced it yet, but essentially I just had this idea, right? Of you see draft 4v4 tournaments quite often. You've never seen a draft 2v2 tournament. Your teammate gets drafted for you in a 2v2. So I had the idea of doing a women's draft 2v2. So it'd be all of the best women, and they'll be drafted with a lot of these women who maybe want to compete, or kind of just want to get some experience with some more accomplished like women, like playing in Halo and stuff like that. And I think it's a great opportunity to try to kind of just get these girls some one-on-one time to compete and just have a good time. So I'm really excited for that tournament. It was going to be in June, but just scheduling was very hard for June, so we pushed it back to July. But I'm very excited about that tournament. So
is it all women or is it like co-ed?
mine will be all women. I think they're doing a collaboration with Pink Sakura. They're doing a tournament later down the line for a co-ed 2v2 with her. But yeah, I wouldn't mind to be a draft 2v2 because that was kind of like my baby. Like I've never seen a draft 2v2 happen, especially just with women. So I think that'll be a great thing to kind of showcase some talent, maybe some sleeper picks.
Now we also just saw you compete last weekend at the time of this recording with a new 4v4 squad. This was actually a squad that we kind of put together at the Freezy Airbnb party in some respects. You teamed with Maddie, Nathan for you, and Tricky. How did that go? Is this a team you think you might stick with, or was this kind of like a pickup squad? What do you think?
We're still in baby stages right now. We're still working things out. Everyone's kind of keeping options open, and just figuring out what they want to do. Obviously the event is 2 months, a little less than 2 months away, so we got a little bit of time. But yeah, we're just running with each other and seeing how things go. I'm doing another scrum with them tomorrow, so.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, 4v4 isn't like imperative for me, so I mean, if I'm just playing the free-for-all, cool, but ideally I should be playing in these opens as well, so definitely want to give these guys a shot. I think they're hungry and they want it, so that's very attractive to me. I only want to go with people who want it as badly as I do, so yeah, it's very promising right now, but yeah, we're still in the baby stages.
Well, I can tell you that 3 out of 4 of those members specifically asked me for advice about how to move up in the Halo world, so I can confirm they're definitely all hungry. I think Nathan and I talked for like a whole hour or something. He's got a lot of talent. I feel like he's just figuring things out, and the more you guys work together, I feel like you will eventually figure it out.
Oh yeah.
Now, as we look ahead in your timeline, sounds like we know you're going to be at SLC. We know you're going to be at Worlds, and it sounds like you'll be competing at both 4v4 and free-for-all. If we look back, say it's December of 2025 and the year is concluded, what are your goals? What do you want out of it?
Ideally, I'm helping these kids like get to top 16. We want to get to top 16, so that's obviously a goal. And then just like a selfish goal for me, just winning the World Championship free-for-all is probably the biggest free-for-all to be winning. So I'll definitely be kind of heavy working on my individual skill, because my metas and strategy I think is down. Obviously, I want to keep improving it and refining that piece, but just growing my individual skill as much as I can and getting ready for that. Yeah, just 2 goals really, just winning the free-for-all, getting top 16. Some good goals to have, and then that way it kind of gives me as many options as I can have going into the competitive season of 2026, which I'm excited that they're having. So
Kick ass. Well, we saw Jake Sucky and Chris Bucket pick up on the news when you won the DreamHack Dallas Free-For-All. I feel like you'll be on CNN or like Nightline, Dateline, NBC or something. I mean, that's something I think we're all rooting for as Halo fans. As we move along in the episode, we're going to go into the quick cues portion of the show. Allie, these are answered in as little words or as many as you'd like, but they're meant to be more quick hitters.
awesome.
Starting things off, what are your settings?
My FOV is 110. Sensitivity is like 5, 7, 9.
It's fast.
I keep all my dead zones at 0. I have a Scuff Instinct Pro 2. I don't know. I recently changed the color yellow for enemies because I can just see it better. I don't know if that's relevant.
Looking at the entire scope of Halo, who's on your Mount Rushmore?
Probably just like 4 command state. No, I'm just kidding.
Someone needs to Photoshop the Mount Rushmore with 4 command stations on it. That'd be awesome.
I don't know. I'm gonna say like Ola for sure. Walshy, Arga 2, and I don't know. Maybe Snipe Down. I think Snipe Down has made a pretty big impact on the scene as well.
It's a good list.
He's a good mix. I like he's won and he's made a big impact because he's very sponsorable, right? He's got a big community online. So I think Snipe Down might be the first time we've heard him on the Mount Rushmore, but I think it's pretty fitting. What's a Halo hot take that might have you roasted on Twitter for?
Wow, I don't think I have any hot takes, to be honest, at all. I mean, yeah, I like modern Halo, if that's a hot take. I don't really like old people Halo. I don't want to offend anyone.
Hey, watch it.
Whoa, things were cool until right now.
Slow Halo is not very fun to me.
Cancel the show.
Delete the pod.
Get her out of here. No, imagine.
No, I think it was good for its time, but I think modern Halo is very, very fun too.
Is the movement that you like about it? Probably.
Yeah, just a huge skill gap there for sure. You can learn a lot of different things and just grow your brain in different ways to get used to like skill jumps, like how aiming works, just how the intricacies of modern Halo I really love. So
What's been your favorite weapon throughout Halo?
probably get the most dopamine from the sniper rifle, I guess. I know it's a very vanilla answer, but
That's fair.
I'd say sniper.
We'll spice it up a little bit. From which game?
Probably Halo 5.
That's fair.
Halo 5 and Halo 3 sniping is like max dopamine for sure.
Yeah, I think even for people that weren't maybe like around or competing during the classic era of Halo, I feel like we hear Halo 3 sniper in every single episode. Who's been your favorite duo to compete with throughout your Halo career?
Favorite duo to compete with, probably Bounds. It's kind of a touchy topic because he blocked me after he got a girlfriend, which was probably at the request of his girlfriend, obviously. But I had the most fun competing with Bound for sure.
Jealousy will get you. That's a crazy one.
It could be a lot of different things. I don't want to make assumptions, but like, you know, I respect it. It is what it is. It's like one of those things that add to the challenges of being a female competing, right? But I mean, such is life. Life comes with challenges. So we were like very, very close friends for a long time. So it did hurt for a long time, but I mean, it is what it is. Life happens, things happen, things change. So
I'm sorry to interrupt this, but the cat has made multiple appearances now. What's your cat's name?
Caboose.
Caboose?
Blue
What?
reference, yeah.
That's amazing, actually.
Is it because he's got a dumpy?
No, I think it's because he has the same IQ as Caboose from Red vs. Blue for sure.
Okay.
It's his wild thing.
That's fair. Who's been your most heated rival?
I would say back when me and Divine Damsel weren't friends, it was probably Divine Damsel. When I first like really met her and talked to her, I challenged her to a 1v1. Again, I had a huge ego back then, so I was like 1v1 me, bro, and she destroyed me like 15-2. Like like really, really bad. It was not even close. And I didn't get mad. And usually I would get mad if I lost to somebody, anybody, right? But like with her, it like inspired me to like get to that level. Like she just did that. I know. And this was before I did all my research. I saw her, destroy me, and I was like, if she can do it, man, like I can do it too. And that's no shot to her skill. Like she's very, very, very good, and she inspired me to become very, very, very good. I wanted to beat her. I was like, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna 1v1 her. I'm gonna beat her one day. So it's lit a fire in me that I hadn't had previously. So, and I've thanked her for that. I've talked to her about that before. We're friends now, but yeah, that rivalry was definitely intense. Sorry, I know these are supposed to be short answers, but
Oh no, I'm loving this. This is badass, and no, it's fair, and I think that's a common thread that we hear from a lot of the people that we have on the podcast. And it's, they got stomped at some point, regardless of how good they are or thought they were at the time. They got stomped, and there's two forks in the road down that path. Some people get stomped and like, man, this isn't for me. Some people get stomped and have that fire lit underneath them, and that's been something I think, Eli, we feel like we've heard every episode with everyone we've had on Hide the Leader. So, speaking along the lines of rivals and opponents, who's your biggest threat in the free-for-all scene?
I would honestly say like any pro player, like Suspector, Kid Nasty, Rhino, like yeah. I think
Rhino's
now
insane,
with the way
yeah.
I play and the way I visualize the game, it's not as much of a threat to me anymore, but I still need to take them very seriously, like moving forward, because yeah, I mean, even playing in Perfect World Halo for me, like Kid Nasty was right on my heels the whole time. So yeah, I'd say any pro player that comes in, definitely a challenge. I'd say Porky J, Deputy Goober, that guy's a legend. He's won a lot of free-for-alls, so
Yep.
him as well, outside of the pro players, even though he was a pro player at one point, but
Yeah, with
Yeah.
X in season 1. I think Goober is the defending champ, or who won last year, Eli? Do we know?
It was
Or-
Goober.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was Goober. My
I think
timeline gets
Lego
mixed up
got second.
sometimes. But yeah, L3GO, Lego. Yeah, don't be surprised if we see Goober and Commandstation going head to head at the Halo World Championship. What's been your favorite Halo title?
I'm Halo 5, just because there's so many good memories like buried in that. And when the next Halo comes out, I'll probably say Halo Infinite. Who knows? But yeah, as of right now, Halo 5 for sure.
Going all the way back to when you first picked up the sticks. What's been your fondest Halo memory?
Yeah, there's so many good ones. It's not that there's not any. I don't know. Just like playing like 1v1s with friends, I think, and like winning any tournament. I mean, each one tops the next, I think.
Feels good to be winning, huh? And Commandstation certainly knows a lot about that as our defending crown bearer of the free-for-all scene. It has been an absolute pleasure having you on the podcast today, Allie. This has been so cool to hear your story and how you just persevere through so many obstacles in and out of the game. Before we wrap things up, I'd like to turn the floor over to you. Anywhere we can find you online, anyone you want to shout out, the floor is yours.
Shout out to Mom. She's been awesome. She's like, she didn't understand all of this at first. Obviously, with parents, they view gaming as, my kids being lazy, they have no ambition, stuff like that. But when she saw me win Forcecon, she was like, wow, like I really see what you're trying to do here, and I'm gonna support you through that from now on, and like apologize for because she tried to get me into all these different fields and just like not understanding it. But like now that she's understood it, she wants the best for me, and she wants me to win all these tournaments, and she's proud of me every step of the way. And my brother, and obviously my dad, right? He passed a long time ago, but he's just always been someone I look up to no matter what, and I always try to carry his name. He's #1 dad in my opinion. So, and then just friends and people who just like mentorship, like even Eli, like you've kind of mentored me and helped me get through some stuff. I've asked for advice many times for many people, but you've given me some really good advice. So thank you for that. But I mean, if I could thank everyone right now, I could. I don't want to eat up your time. But
Well, you're welcome. I did not expect it. Yeah.
He's a good dude, that Eli guy.
It's been really fun to watch you grow, seriously. And you're not done yet, so show me some more. Let's see you win a couple more of these things before the year concludes.
course.
Commandstation carrying on the legacy and building a damn good one for her own. It has been incredible to have you on the podcast today. Thank you so much for the time. Best of luck the rest of the way competing at SLC and the Halo World Championship. For Eli the Ninja, the legendary Commandstation, I'm Old Man Makowski saying so long. We'll see you in the next one.
Yes, let's go.